Today there are interesting updates from Ukraine. Here now, even the most nationalist Russian media representatives have finally admitted that Ukraine not only has no signs of collapse, but also is becoming stronger than ever, with no defeat in sight. The ever-evolving military-industrial base of Ukraine has led to a huge increase in domestically produced weapons, combined with co-production contracts with Western partners. Vladimir Solovyov, long known for his nightly rants about Ukraine's supposed collapse, recently startled his audience with a rare confession. Ukraine is not collapsing, it's growing stronger. Solovyov sounded shaken as he acknowledged that there is no Ukrainian exhaustion in sight. Gone were the boasts about Kyiv's imminent fall. Instead, he admitted that the Russian military had fundamentally underestimated what was happening by thinking that NATO was only sending finished products. This turned out not to be true, with Ukraine having its own production and foreign volunteers and specialists joining Ukrainian ranks daily. That moment of reluctant honesty came after months of evidence that Ukraine's military-industrial complex is no longer just surviving but thriving, despite the daily Russian strike campaigns. From January to July 2025, Ukraine's Ministry of Defense increased domestic procurement by 3.6 billion euros compared to the same period last year. As a result, Ukrainian-made weapons and equipment now make up 71.4% of all defense purchases. The trend is unmistakable. In 2022, barely 10% of Ukraine's weapons were locally produced. In 2023, the figure climbed past 35%. By mid-2025, at least 40% were built domestically. President Volodymyr Zelensky has vowed that by the end of the year, 50% of all weapons on the front lines will be Ukrainian-made, a goal that, given current output, will likely be surpassed before the target deadline. Zelensky confirmed that Ukraine's defense industry had multiplied several times since 2022, projecting an astonishing $35 billion in domestic drone and missile production for next year. He highlighted Ukraine's leadership in Europe in unmanned systems, with strike drones dominating the battlefield, while naval drones have transformed the control of the Black Sea, making once safe waters dangerous for the Russians. The president also emphasized the ongoing expansion of Ukraine's missile capabilities, citing their success and revealing plans to begin regular use of Ukrainian ballistic missiles, a new chapter in the country's long-range defense. Meanwhile, the international side of Ukraine's defense industry is turning the country into a decentralized, nearly invulnerable weapons powerhouse. To shield its production from Russian strikes, Ukraine has spread its industrial footprint across Europe. Partnerships with Poland, Denmark and Germany, among others, ensure uninterrupted production through joint ventures. Denmark, for example, has launched its Build for Ukraine initiative, allocating $50 million for Ukrainian defense firms to operate on Danish soil. One such company is already preparing to produce solid rocket fuel there, strengthening both nations' defense capabilities. The arrangement benefits Denmark as well by giving it access to some of the newest technologies and battlefield experience from Ukraine. Across sectors, the numbers tell the story of resilience, with around 95% of Ukraine's drones now made domestically, with the remaining 5% produced in Danish and German facilities. Missile production is roughly 80% domestic, while joint projects in Poland and Denmark cover the rest, including next-generation long-range systems. Artillery shell manufacturing has surged to 70–75% domestic output, over 2.5 million rounds in 2024 alone, with additional capacity built abroad through partnerships with Poland and other European NATO allies. These interlocking networks ensure that even if Russia strikes one factory, others can instantly pick up production. Overall, Ukraine, once dependent fully on foreign aid, is now becoming one of Europe's largest defense manufacturers, and it is doing so while under constant fire. The contrast with Russia could not be greater, as Moscow's economy bleeds under sanctions and its ammunition output shrinks. In 2022, Vladimir Putin declared that one of his key goals was the demilitarization of Ukraine. 3.5 years later, Ukraine stands not demilitarized, but more militarized than ever, with self-sufficient production, expanding international facilities, and increasingly long-range precision weapons. a thing even the Kremlin's most devoted mouthpieces can no longer deny. If you are against the invasion of Ukraine and you want to support the work that I'm doing, consider subscribing to our own independent news website. Here you can find our exclusive strategic insights, comprehensive overviews of all fronts, and regular tactical analysis videos. By subscribing, you will not only show your support for this channel, but also help and defend independent journalism. The link to our website is in the description. Thank you for watching this report, and I appreciate everyone who stepped up to join us.